You know what I mean?
This is why you will always be single and unhappy.
That is what you call blue pill conditioning.
I know so many great women with pride, self-respect.
Damn, this guy's really trying to get laid tonight.
Your statement here, women deserve less.
Yes.
What substantiates that conclusion?
Talk to over 4,000 women.
No.
If you would stop interrupting me, then I can explain it out for you.
Okay.
She has her notebook out. Okay, great.
I'm trying to follow your premise.
Sure, yeah. Okay, we'll go through it then.
It's to see if your conclusion logically
Yeah,
follows.
sure.
Welcome back to Rattlesnake TV, guys. In this video, we're going to be watching Myron Gaines's recent college debate. This one has one of the worst simps I've ever seen, plus an intolerable feminist professor. It's a hard watch at times, but well worth it, and plenty of good topics brought up for our entertainment. So thank you very much to Uncensored America for putting this one on. And let's get into the first part, with the topic of the debates being why women deserve less, which is Myron's book.
Like, I get a lot of joy out of treating my girlfriend as my equal and trying to understand her beliefs.
Well, you're cooked then. You treat your girl like an equal?
I love
Yo, you're
her.
cooked, bro. Like,
bro, you're cooked. What's happening to America? Why are we saying women deserve less, and why are people laughing at this? This is just an opportunity for people to talk down on each other, which is not beneficial to anyone.
Okay, so here's the problem, and I see where you're coming from, right? We're told the Disney fairy tales, you know, the golden rule: treat your someone else how you want to be treated, treat women nice, everything else like that. Which I agree with. I think women shouldn't work. I think the man should be the breadwinner and take care of her, but we have to be very honest here and understand that men and women are different, and we're attracted to different things. And for a woman to be attracted to you, she can't look at you as an equal. She has to look at you as a superior.
How can you say that if you're not in a relationship with a woman?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Yeah, I'm very ugly, actually. 2 out of 10 at best. But no.
Your personality matters way more. If you treat them like you're equal, if you respect them, they will respect you back.
Okay, a man's job isn't to get in a relationship and secure commitment. That's what we give to women, okay? It's a woman's job to secure commitment. It's our job to go out there, create value, build a legacy, build a last name, and then the women are gonna come from that.
Why are you putting either of us in a box? Why do you say that we have to do certain things? Why can't we just live our lives and be happy?
Because that's just not how the world works, unfortunately.
I mean, I'm in a relationship and I'm very happy.
It doesn't work that way. Women want competence, they want excellence, they don't want a guy that's equal to them.
If you're not in a relationship with
What was that?
How do you know what a woman wants if you're not in a relationship with
one?
one?
Well, I've been around quite a few women. I've talked to more of them than anyone else would care. Oh, they're saying lies? Okay. I don't even know why these women are here, man. Like, is there a kitchen nearby? Like, what the hell's going on?
Because they have a brain and they have all the same parts that we have. That
Still trying to figure out why these women are here not making sandwiches. Like, damn, it's fucking, get us some sustenance. You know what I mean?
This is why you will always be single and unhappy.
Put the bread out, make some bologna. Oh, this guy's mad. Okay. Yeah. So, guys, that is what you call blue pill conditioning. Guys, because we got a lot of young men here, so let me give you guys some, wisdom that your father, your uncle will probably never tell you because they don't want to be, labeled a misogynist. You can either understand women or respect them as an equal, but you can't do both. I'm going to say that again. You can either understand women, right, or treat them as an equal, but you can't do both. So if you understand them, you understand that you have a duty to lead, protect, provide, and that inherently puts you in a leadership role. And that's how women want it, guys. This is the uncomfortable reality. Equality and egalitarian within relationships is a fucking lie. It's one of the biggest lies we've been told.
Okay, so first of all here, when we're saying women deserve less or less valuable, whatever you're saying, there has to be a clear distinction made here. We're not actually talking about the ontological value of the individual, the inherent value of the individual. What they're talking about here is something else. Are men and women equal in inherent value and human dignity? Yes. But are they equal in other areas? Absolutely not. But even in the equal value sense, you might actually make a really strong argument that women are more valuable than men. And the best examples of this is that women are the first ones ushered onto the lifeboats, and they're the ones who are meant to stay home, and the men are all sent off to die at war, showing that the lives of the men are actually considered less valuable than the lives of the women. But anyways, when it comes to matters of being equal in strength and competence and ability to protect and all of that, it's not even close. And women select for these things, which is why men must be superior in all of these different areas. I mean, this is obvious. Women are always looking for these little signals. Do you walk on the correct side of the road? And do you protect her from danger? Are you taller than her? Women will date men who earn more than them. There are all of these little signals. Will you pay for the first date to show that you have a provider's mindset, etc., etc.? But this guy here is very feminized, and he doesn't actually get this yet. Because these lessons, if you don't have a father who is instilling these things into you, They have to be learnt in the school of hard knocks. Sometimes you need a little bit of life experience to shatter that fairy tale princess delusion that women are the benevolent sex who just love you for your personality. And lastly, just a low IQ argument when he says that in order to understand what women want, Myron has to be in a relationship.
They don't
How
want
do
a
you
guy
know
that's
what a
equal
woman
to
wants
them.
if you're not in a relationship with
What was
one?
that?
How do you know what a woman wants if you're not in a relationship with
Well,
one?
I mean, this is just like saying in order to understand crime, you have to be a criminal. But anyways, on to the next one now. And if you thought that guy was feminized, the next guy is something like I've never seen before. This one's bad. Let's get into it.
So tell me, why, what makes you think that women deserve less, bro? And I know so many great women with pride, self-respect, morality. Bro, what type of woman do you talk to on the daily basis? What are the women that you attract that you talk to? What type of woman are they? Not saying that there's anything wrong with OnlyFans girls. There's
a lot wrong with them.
They may lack some self-respect. That doesn't make them worthless. They may feel like they're worth less and less, but that doesn't make them worth less, bro. But those are the women you talk to that feel like they are worth less. You've never talked to an actual great woman in your life with pride, with humanity, with dignity. You have no idea what those words even mean, bro, because you don't convey it. You don't express it. You are hurting these women and you don't care. What do you think of morality, bro? Is morality an important trait? To be moral and compassionate and empathetic, is that important?
Damn, this guy's really trying to get laid tonight. Okay. Yeah, so here's the thing, dude. Men and women are different, okay? Girls that are sluts are not respected because it's easy. Guys that are capable of being sluts are respected because it's hard. It's not easy for guys to attract women, but it's very easy for women to attract men. It's just very simple. So the barrier to entry is low, so therefore it's not respected.
Dog, you did
as
not
far as
answer-
like, go ahead.
You didn't answer my question. I'm asking about morality. Do you believe morality and empathy and compassion are important things in this world?
Well, you can be polite to girls that are 304s, but that doesn't mean you have to date them.
Dog, nothing you say is polite. You disrespect their humanity in every way. That is the
For telling the truth? If you do OnlyFans, that you're a whore?
Bro, no man who has ever been treated well by a woman would act like you. You've clearly been scarred horribly, bro, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that happened. Whatever happened to you, I am so sorry that it has made you that way. I would hate to live a life where I'm a shitty person, bro. That would make that is the saddest, the darkest life possible, and I feel sorry for you, bro. You have no compassion. The things that make us human, you have none of, bro.
Besides your
You have
emotional
none
arguments,
of.
like what is your actual like?
That was none
What
of
is
that
your
was
actual argument?
that women have pride, dignity, humanity, and you deny them all of that.
So he doesn't have an argument. What he has is a series of appeals to emotion and appeals to women to try and get laid. Make no mistakes, guys. That is exactly what this guy is doing here. All this is a mating strategy. He is hoping that all of his simping and white knighting will one day lead to a situation where one of the girls on campus gives him a sympathy pee-pee touch.
She gave one pee-pee touch. Okay.
Now, I know that a lot of people have their problems with Myron, but at least he is upfront about what he thinks and his beliefs. It is not the guys like Myron that you have to worry about. It is the sneaky male feminists that we must worry about. It is the ones deceiving and disarming ladies that are the real threat here. But there's a much more important problem here that this guy just perfectly represents. And that is the feminization of modern men. All he is literally doing the whole time is appealing to his emotions, not critically thinking about the logic of what Myron is saying, but attacking him based upon what he feels like Myron said and how he feels that women feel about it.
I'm so sorry that it has made you that way. I would hate to live a life where I'm a shitty person, bro. That is the saddest, the darkest life possible, and I feel sorry for you, bro. You have no compassion. The things that make us human, you have none of, bro.
And to my utter fury, this guy is doing the thing where he says woman instead of women.
Woman with pride, self-respect, morality.
This is something that has caught on in the female social media space over the last few years. And young women have started repeating this. And this is because they are hive-minded to the point where they will actually change the English language and forget how to use plurals, all because they heard it on TikTok. And like I said, to my utter chagrin, this has caught on, and now we have to hear it all the time. I mean, just listen to the incoherent sentence that this guy uttered.
I know so many great women with pride, self-respect, morality. Bro, what type of woman do you talk to on the daily basis? What are the women that you attract that you talk to? What type of woman are they?
So, I mean, what this tells me here is that clearly this guy is being educated on TikTok by bird hand using up-speaking feminists who don't know how to say women. And he's so conditioned and feminized that he's actually started adopting their vernacular. Even the body language is extremely feminine. He's actually taken their mannerisms as well. He's doing the hand slapping and the hand on the heart and other general patterns of movement. So on to the last one here, guys. This is one of the most insufferable people I have ever witnessed in my entire life. And having done this channel for a few years, there have been a lot of insufferable people, and I don't say that lightly. But I really do think that she might take the crown for the worst. And this woman is allegedly a professor at the university, which is just terrifying, and there's a lot to break down here, so let's get into it.
Hi. Your
Yep.
statement here, women deserve less.
Yes.
What substantiates that conclusion?
What substantiates why men need to give women less?
Why? Wait. Because what you said was different. You said, okay, I'm reading, women deserve less. And then you said, men something give women less.
Women deserve less?
Okay, so that claim. What substantiates that claim?
Because women are incredibly entitled, rude,
Okay, let's talk-
narcissistic,
okay.
solipsistic,
Okay, so
have huge egos.
Okay, so let's zero in on that one point. You said entitled. Okay, so women are entitled. How did you come to that conclusion?
Well, I think any heterosexual guy here will agree with me that dating women.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Well-
What's your reasoning?
So you want my anecdotal answer?
No, I don't. I'm talking about logic. Like, what's your reasoning? This doesn't include.
Okay, I mean, I can draw from many
necessarily.
different, I guess, pools, but in general, I've talked to over 4,000 women.
No. This isn't. I'm trying to get what science substantiates that claim. What studies are there that support the claim that women are entitled, and then therefore it necessarily follows that women deserve less?
Okay, so straight out of the gate here, guys, she's literally doing the meme. She's doing the bird hands. She is literally trying to henpeck Myron. Not to mention the empathy voice, the upspeak, the chin scratch with squinted eyes showing how curious she is and how she's actively listening when she's literally not listening at all. Then interrupting. We even have the unnecessary bodily movements. It is all there in the first minute of the clip. I mean, we could not ask for much more. But into the meat and potatoes here. Her whole thing is, well, what science substantiates this? Give me a study.
What science substantiates that claim?
This is a typical tactic used by these leftoids in debates. All of a sudden, when their opponents are making good points and they don't want to contend with the arguments, they become hardcore empiricists. Everything all of a sudden needs to be peer-reviewed and everything needs to have a citation. But just notice how selectively that standard actually gets applied. Just ask them if men can get periods and all of a sudden the science becomes a lot less important. In that case, it's all about feelings and identity and lived experience. But if it's a claim that they don't like, whoa, gonna need to see a study for that one, Myron.
Science.
But luckily, guys, there are ways to just counter this very easily. The first one being, just take a mental note of the standard that they are using and then use that on them relentlessly. 2 + 2 is 4?
What studies?
Oh, my body, my choice?
What studies?
The patriarchy does exist, does it?
What studies?
If you do this, then you'll bog down the debate and they will need to relinquish that standard as well. Because the fact of the matter is that empirics is not everything. People use generalities all of the time, and actually, you can use philosophy to justify your claims. Empirical studies are just one form of evidence. Logic and reason are perfectly legitimate ways to arrive at conclusions. Take a simple example here. If society removes fathers from the household, it's not exactly a wild logical leap to suspect that that might have a negative consequence for the children. Fathers historically provide protection, discipline, resources, a male role model. And if you remove one of the two parents, it's reasonable to think that something might break down. Sure, you might be able to find studies on it, but the point is that the argument exists absent the study. So a lot of the time when you see these leftists demanding a study for every single claim, it's not about rigor and trying to get to the bottom of things and trying to find the truth. It's just a way of dodging an argument.
Science.
But anyways, we move on here, and this actually gets very entertaining because she tries to corner Myron here by using her very basic rudimentary understanding of formal logic to get him to put his arguments into premise form, which he does, and then she just capitulates.
Women, okay, are opportunistic maters.
Okay. No, okay.
Oh, God.
Okay, now you're doing something different. So we started off with women are entitled, and now you're saying opportunistic maters. Which one, like, let's focus on one at a time.
If you stop interrupting me, then I can explain it out for you, because this is, obviously, I need to start at 1 before I get you to 10.
Okay.
So number 1,
let's keep
women
this.
are opportunistic lovers, okay? So what that means is they require far more from the man than the man requires of them. Okay, this is shown all throughout the animal kingdom. The man must be able to provide, protect. Okay, she has her notebook out. Okay, great.
I'm trying to
so-
follow your premise.
Sure, yeah. Okay, we'll go through it then.
To see if your conclusion logically
Yeah, sure.
follows.
So women are opportunistic lovers, okay? And what that means is they require more from their mate than their mate requires of them. Typically, men just want sexual access. Women want security, and that security falls in many different forms: provisioning, protection, leadership, competence, etc. So since women are opportunistic lovers and require more from the guy, okay, what ends up happening is women have a you need to impress me type mindset. Now, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm all for men competing in the hierarchy for the pursuit of reproductive access. However, in 2026, with the explosion of the internet, dating apps, social media, etc., women have become almost insufferable and intolerable with their solipsism, narcissism, entitlement, etc. So in other words, average women think that average men don't qualify for them. Average women think that they're better than average men. So, and this is because a lot of simps blow smoke up women's asses thanks to the internet, and this has them going out thinking that they demand or want the best guy, because also, since we live in a what I call a globalized sexual marketplace, women have access to higher status and more attractive men. So once a woman has access to these kinds of men, she automatically assumes she's at that level. A woman could date 3, 4, 5, 6 different levels above herself. So what ends up happening is they conflate that sexual access or that dating access with this is what I deserve in a long-term relationship, and the two typically don't align. So this is why I say women deserve less, because most guys give them more. So you need to stick out and not be a simp.
Okay.
So that was very good. She tried to get him there, but ended up actually just exposing herself. She demanded formal logic here. She demanded that Myron put his argument into premise form. And actually, he did that after. And I don't think he's necessarily philosophically trained. Like, I don't think he understands formal logic in that sense, but he almost instinctively gave her an argument with premise and then justification and then a conclusion. And so I'll lay the argument out in its structure. Proposition: women are opportunistic lovers. Premise 1: women require more from their mate than their mate requires of them. Premise 2: typically men just want sexual access, whereas women want multiple forms of security: financial security, protection, status, long-term commitment, etc. Premise 3: because women have all of these different standards that a man must meet in order to get reproductive access, they are incentivized to pursue the best option available to them. Premise 4: in the modern world, this opportunism has been amplified by social media, which allows average women to access far above average men that they would never have encountered when dating pools were limited to their hometowns. Premise 5: this has fueled a kind of solipsism and narcissism because average women now receive sexual attention from men who are far above them in the hierarchy. Premise 6: women often mistake sexual attention for retention, meaning just because a high-status man will sleep with them, they assume that this is the caliber of man who will eventually commit to them. As a result, many average women now believe average men don't qualify for them, which is another way of saying they behave in an entitled way, which was the original claim that she demanded science for. So the irony here is that Myron actually walked her through the argument step by step. And this made her actually panic. And instead of writing more notes, she pretends she has to fix the mic and then pretends to get a text message that she has to reply to. Anything that engaging with the actual argument. Now she's floundering, tries to pick apart his argument again, but once again exposes her lack of understanding of actual logic.
So
Hope that makes sense.
you went through a series of propositions. The first one is that women are opportunistic lovers. You substantiated that by saying that men just want sex and that women require more. Now let's examine what that means. So saying that women require more and that men only want sex, they only require sex, that is basically
It is the
same
predominant thing we
as
look for.
saying that it is so. So now you're making a universal claim for all men that women, like men, just want sex. So
No, that is the predominant reason we talk to women in the first place.
So you
If
do
women
that.
didn't have vaginas, we would not talk to you guys.
Okay, you do that because
Most women are
you
insufferable
view-
and annoying.
No,
So most
you-
guys would
yes.
not talk to you if you didn't have a vagina.
So he didn't make a universal claim there. She's just purely projecting that.
Now you're making a universal claim for all men.
He intentionally said things like generally and predominantly.
No,
So most guys,
yeah.
predominant reason we talk to women in the first place.
She just interpreted it as a universal because she feels like he said that, which is just so ironic considering that she's the one trying to lecture him about logic and critical thinking. You can just tell that this chick learnt a few phrases in a philosophy 101 class like universals, and now she's trying to get him using that, but her knowledge is so surface level that she keeps on failing. Anyways, last section now, and it goes seriously off the rails for her.
What part of my argument doesn't hold?
Oh, where to start with that one? So you went through a series of propositions, and those propositions in themselves weren't substantiated by any kind of scientific evidence, any kind of peer-reviewed
They're literally
studies.
substantiated by human evolution and biology.
Okay.
Like,
So, but
it's
that's not
literally
that's not-
biology. It's very simple.
No. See, no. See, but are there peer-reviewed studies? Like, are there studies that I can look up right now that say men are only friends with women because they want to only have sex with women, and that's it? Like,
Yes.
men do right.
If you pull up studies,
Okay.
If you pull up studies, it will tell you that what men look for in women is youth and beauty, which is tied to
Okay,
sex.
so where does that come from? Where does that like desire for youth and beauty come from? I'm trying to challenge like the claims that you make that you take to be true. They're just fundamental.
Okay, so you don't agree that men look for youth and beauty in women?
Okay, what I'm trying to do is understand why you are doing. But it seems to me that based on our conversation,
See, you're focusing
and our
more on
back
me
and
than my
forth-
argument. That's the issue
No.
here. This is why you can't
No.
formulate an argument.
No,
You're
no,
more
no,
concerned
no,
with
see,
me
no.
and my
Because-
worldview
no,
versus
no,
me
no,
telling
no.
you the biological fact that
Okay,
men
so what
are
you're doing
interested
right
in
now
reproduction.
Okay, so what you're doing right now is conflating your worldview with what science is. So you're saying because I believe this and because there are these scientific studies that say this, therefore this. However, we have to challenge the fundamental claims. Why is it that men only value youth and beauty? Is it because we happen to live in a society where women are valued in context to their ability to only reproduce up to a certain age, right? And then after that, women quote unquote expire after a certain age. So see, the thing is that in itself, we cannot even truly say that because that is a social phenomenon that is a product of our society. And so we have to look at the structures that support what it is that we are even trying to understand.
So, I mean, it's hard to believe that we get everything in one clip here. So many things already laid out, and then we get treated to the who hurt you argument.
Why you are doing.
Tell me about your trauma, Myron. It must be your trauma that makes you acknowledge reality like that. And then we also get the everything is a social construct argument.
Social phenomenon that is a product of our society.
You see, according to her, men only value youth and beauty because of the societal construct. It's got nothing to do with biology or anything like that whatsoever. And if men weren't actually programmed by the patriarchy, they would all be attracted to fat, old, ugly women. That damn patriarchy. And last point here, I mean, if she's making that whole social construct argument, then that would be a great time to ask her for a study. And we want it peer reviewed as well. So anyways, guys, that is all I will subject you to today. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to smash that like button. It helps me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you like the content. And also, if you would like to watch another one, right here. Till next time, I'm Jake. This is RattlesnakeTV, keeping you armed and dangerous.